You are now tuned to BS3 Network.
Welcome once again to the Forecast. We review movies, films, documentaries a completely different way, four different perspectives. Tonight it is three cast. Doc will not be on. It is Game 7 of the ALCS, so he is watching or maybe at the game. You know, who knows?
At the game with a Trill Burger.
With a Trill Burger, yeah. So we will be reviewing as we continue Laurence Fishburne Month. Shout out to Laurence Fishburne. We'll be doing Deep Cover tonight.
Larry Fishburne, man. Larry.
Cancer. My name is Larry. Let me tell you what I want to do.
Watch out, dramatics. Watch out now.
But Deep Cover, which is surprisingly on, guess what? Tubi TV. So, hey, Tubi be having some in the back pocket. You gotta watch some commercials. But
and Ben is very brave because this movie was shitty for me to watch it on Tubi TV. I was like, oh no, I can't. I got to get through this. I can't do no commercials.
Get through this fast.
I can't do no commercials.
Commercials will kill you. Yeah.
But Deep Cover, which is like I said, available on Tubi, starring Laurence, Larry Fishburne, and Goldblum. I don't remember his first name exactly.
Jeff.
Jeff.
I just call him the Fly. I just know him as the Fly.
Yeah, that's I'm with you with the Fly.
Yeah. Or most recently, he's apartments.com spokesperson.
Oh yeah, the spokesman.
I mean, and his quirky kind of comedy, I think, was nice in this. He was still the same person.
Was he originally stand-up A-Trap, or was he always just kind of in the comedy?
I think he was always kind of quirky. If he was, I know nothing of him doing anything with that quirky style of acting, that almost satirical acting.
Right. Yeah, because I mean, like I said, I think my first movie of him was The Fly, and then of course it was that the Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus movie with it was kind of a goofy movie because Damon Wayans,
Jack Nicholson.
Yeah.
Those little bubblehead cats.
Yeah, it was weird, man.
Yeah, I mean, I think my first thing I remember him was Jurassic Park. That was the kind of first thing.
He was. He's been in several Jurassic Parks.
Yeah.
See, to me, I think Jurassic Park. When I saw him in Jurassic Park, which this may sound stupid, but I felt like that was a resurgence for his career. But
I wouldn't say that's stupid. I would agree.
Okay, because I felt like he kind of fell off a little bit, and then all of a sudden Jurassic Park came, and here he is.
Yeah, he was back on.
Yeah.
I wouldn't consider that stupid at all. That would be. I would say that was right on point.
Yeah.
Because he got stuck in that Fly situation for a long time.
He was in there made a sequel, and then, like I said, that Girls Are From Venus, Men From Mars, and then he kind of disappeared after that. And all of a sudden he was back. You know, Steven Spielberg had him in Jurassic Park, and I'm like, I felt like that boosted him again.
Because they even gave him a Jurassic Park in which he was the star.
He was by himself. Yeah. Right.
No, I agree.
Him and the dude in the original Jurassic Park who played Damien Thorne. You haven't seen him. You seen him as Damien Thorne, Jurassic Park, and Hunt for Red October, and you don't see
nothing else really. Yeah.
All right, let's get to the chat real quick. Golden Brooks, I see you with the Avi. Thank you for coming through. We got Anna says, "Hey everyone, hope your all week is off to a good start. Hope Ivan is okay." He's fine. He's watching the Rangers, and I heard the Dallas Stars podcast earlier. All right, cool. Appreciate you for coming through. Family, it said it's still Golden Brooks, so Golden Brooks jumping in on the Facebook.
All right, go.
Side 2. We appreciate all the support. We're live right now on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, X, or whatever you want to call it.
That's Twitter. It's like the Sears Tower, like the Sears Tower in Chicago. It ain't never gonna be the Willis Tower to me. Right, Sears Tower, man.
And we're
Sears is anymore.
Twitter X, man.
Right.
Twitter, man.
Right.
Twitter after dark, man.
And we're live on the End of the Bench Media on Facebook and on YouTube as well. So make sure to like and follow and subscribe to all of those platforms. All right. So Deep Cover, 1992 film. David Johnson, which is Jeff Goldblum, is the biggest drug dealer in LA, and Russell Stevens, Larry Fishburne, is the undercover cop. And he gets undercover, deep cover, obviously in the term. I think he gets, very comfortable, but he's definitely having some conflict because of his father, which that'll be a good introduction. Good old Glenn Thurman was in this too.
He was just picking up where he left off on Cooley High.
Right. Fast forward, and he got a kid. Like, don't do this, man. Don't do this stuff. But that opening scene, and I'll say this: as soon as I turned it on, I'm like, is this movie just slow, or is something wrong with the movie? And that was just the opening. Hey. Maybe that's a Bill Duke thing, because I think we did another Bill Duke movie, and his opening was kind of
slow,
long and slow. But I think that was kind of the times in this era of just like long intros. Man, and it really gets straight to the point.
That was the thing in the 90s. You had half the credits in the beginning in the intros, but then you had, just as long at the end. So I think that was just the thing in the 90s.
Yeah. Yeah. What were you thinking, A-Trap? I see your face.
I didn't think it was. I dug it. I mean, I like when you tell a story like that and you back map it. I like that. You understand, what they call these days the origin story. I like that. Yeah. I mean, it could. Y'all could be right. It just could be something I was raised off of. Like, I'm one of the few weirdos that like the original Incredible Hulk movie.
Oh, that was great.
No. The one that most people hate.
The one with Eric Bana?
Yeah.
Oh, I think he did good in that.
Yeah, most people hate it.
Really? I think Eric Bana did great in there. I was like,
most people hate it. I'm one of the weird, because I like the fact that they back mapped it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they showed him as a scientist. Mm-hmm. They showed him how he got started.
Yeah, but shout out again to Bill Duke. This is the second. I don't know. We might have reviewed other Bill Duke films. We just didn't know, but this is the second one.
I don't think so. I think just Hoodlum and Deep Cover.
This is these two.
Yeah. So we got some clips tonight. I did not tell the co-host, so when we play those clips, we'll discuss some of the horrible acting and one-liners that was in this. So it starts off Cleveland, 1972. Glenn Thurman says, "Yeah, man, you my little nigga." When he said that, I was like, "You mean your son?" He was like, "Nah, you my little nigga." I must have gone to the store for a minute. He didn't say what he was really going into the store for, but when he had the gun, obviously he was thinking, "All right, he about to rob the place." But man, got his back blown out. Not in the upturn.
Not in the good way though.
Not in the good way.
And dudes shouldn't be getting their back blown out.
Is that a good way? I was like, wait a minute, is that a good way?
Ain't really a good way or a bad way, but
the most violent act on the
most violent way possible. Yeah.
You don't want to be no dude getting your back blown out. Nah, no back blew out.
Maybe not in a good way. It doesn't really go together.
Yeah. Now, I thought I've watched this film. I'm pretty sure I have, probably on TV or something like that. But I don't really remember this at all. And I think I might have gotten this confused with In Too Deep.
Deep
Cover.
Oh, he talking about with God.
Yeah.
LL.
Yeah, I love that movie, man. I love.
Hey, that movie is underrated, man. That movie is underrated, man.
Hey, man, people
love it. Hey, Wilkes, you love it.
You love it.
L made it.
Yes, I'm telling you, that movie's underrated, man. And the funny thing is that movie. I've heard that movie referenced in so many rap songs. It is ridiculous. So I mean, it was definitely. It may be underrated, but people noted it. It was kind of like Belly. Like Belly was noted it, but it's not. Belly's not mentioned as much as In Too Deep.
Belly is the longest music video in the history of Earth.
Right. Thank you.
That's a horrible movie.
Yeah, that movie. I don't.
There's two things in Belly that just made me go, I won't watch this again. And when Nas said, Nas one of my favorite MCs in the history of the earth.
Yeah.
Stick to rapping, homeboy. Stick to writing and rapping. Don't you act nothing.
Yeah, because the only reason I got it, because being that young in high school, Belly comes out. Oh, DMX got him a movie. Nas got him a movie. It's hip hop culture.
It wasn't great, but it was good for the hip hop culture.
Yeah, it was just one of those.
Man, that was horrible, man. That man said he told T-Boss, "Look, we're gonna leave the dope game and we're gonna go to Africa." And this chump lays two plane tickets on the table to Africa, like it's a city,
like it's right. We just going to Africa. Plane tickets say from
like we going to Africa. Like we going to Athens, Greece,
in the Bumba clock,
the remake of Scarface joint.
Basically, that's what you could have did. We got some new people in the chat. Miss Hale. Oh, excuse me. Fellas.
All
I don't know, is that a hat or
no, that's her hairstyle, man. She rocking that natural in the photo, man.
H-Rap, how was the soundtrack? Or did you not pay attention to it?
Yes, I was paying attention.
Coming out swinging.
Worker Park in the building.
Oh, I see it, Teresa. I see it now. TR. I see TR in the building. I see it now.
Tito
in the building. Big Illinois in the building.
Big Illinois, what's that cigar, man?
Hey,
that was a good night. That was a good night. That was his birthday a couple years ago.
I need to know, man. I'm on them cigars, man.
We got Knox, DJ Knox in the building.
Anthony, how's it going? There's ain't no such thing as DJ Knox.
Nas was worse than that little boy from South.
Yes, he was. He was.
Not the
one with the Manchester shot. Yes.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that was not a movie. You're right. That was a long.
It was a music video.
Didn't Hype Williams directed that, didn't he?
Matter of fact, wasn't it MTV?
Yeah.
Wasn't it MTV Studios at that?
Hey, man. He could do that in his backyard.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It was only because of the hype of Nas and DMX at the moment. That was it.
Yeah.
That was
and
Nas was bigger than that.
Yeah.
Hey, man. Only thing that was good about Belly was Method Man.
Or that lady walking down the hall. That's the only thing.
Yeah, that part. Yeah.
Keisha,
yeah, that's it. That's all I give you.
And they all had that weird lighting in it. I don't know.
Yeah, it was horrible.
Yeah, it was weird.
It was a straight morning breath movie.
It was a music video. Yeah.
And some of those like wide angles for no reason. Like, why are you panning out so far?
That was probably Hype Williams' first and last feature.
That was his first joint. Yeah, and he
probably his last one.
He ain't never done no videos after that. He was
done.
That was it. Don't believe it.
Didn't they try Belly too? But it went to DVD or VHS.
What's his name is in it?
Went to straight corner store.
Man, he should have went straight to the crib.
So straight to the corner store shelves.
Yeah.
All right. So his dad dies in the snow. And let me ask y'all this: did y'all like the narrating of this film?
Yeah, hey man, I love this
narrating.
I didn't mind the narrating because it reminded me of which is an old movie. It's actually got Forrest Whitaker and it's called Ghost Dog. And RZA does the soundtrack, and Forrest Whitaker narrates the entire movie. So it gave me that feeling of a Ghost Dog.
Talking about bad movie.
Yeah.
I ain't seen that.
You know how y'all feel about
Pootie? No, don't worry. Don't watch it. You good.
This is y'all. That's my Pootie. Like,
yeah, Ghost Dog. The funny thing is, that's my Xbox Live name because growing up, for whatever reason, I don't know why. I guess when I was a little heavyset and I didn't have my gray hair going on or whatever, I was literally sitting at the bar one day and this guy said, "Hey man, I don't mean this in defense, but anybody tell you like Forrest Whitaker?" The funny thing is, when I was in the 5th grade, somebody said the same thing. And I'm like, I don't see it.
In the 5th grade?
Dude, in the 5th grade, man. And then when I was at the grocery store, dude, I'm standing in the grocery store checking out. I'm standing at the grocery store. This girl says, you look like Forrest Whitaker. I was like,
no. Do you think I would be in line at the grocery store?
Yeah.
Nah, Forrest Whitaker got people to go to the grocery store.
Michael Parsons.
I used to get it all the time when I was a little bit more heavy set. I used to get it.
Michael Parsons said he was at a farmer's market just sitting there eating. And the lady said, "You're not Michael Parsons. You wouldn't be sitting here." He was like, "Yeah, he wouldn't be."
Yeah. So,
man, I used to get it all. So my buddies, my good friends, they said, so Ghost Dog just kind of stuck. That was just one of the things.
Yeah. Off topic, we got the Rangers in 6.
Rangers got to get it. Right? Hey, Rangers got to get it.
It's 8-2 right now, bottom of the 4th.
Hey, Rangers got the squad, man. They got to get it.
Yeah.
Ready to kill somewhere crying.
About to say, you might be in the corner somewhere. April Showers, thank you for tuning in. Cats always say I look like Big Worm.
That's what I was just trying to say. They said,
really?
We used to call him.
I don't see it. You talking about Faison?
Faison. Hey, when we were younger, we used to call him Rock.
Really? Wow.
Nah, you don't look like neither. You don't look like neither to me.
Trust me. The junk got his hair shaved. He looked like.
Y'all went back to a classic movie in my top 25. Okay, deep covers in your top 25.
I'm with
Wow. I don't know. Explain a little bit. Why is this in your top 25?
Man, this is a dope movie, man.
It's
man,
I don't think it's dope. I think it's all right. This ain't
dope, man.
It's all right.
And 79 on back to appreciate.
We had a young baby face Clifton Powell in this movie too. He didn't say, he had one line. He didn't say nigga at all either. He didn't slap nobody, or he wasn't a pimp. He was a cop.
No pimp. Yeah.
I don't know if I ever seen Clifton Powell in the film when he was a cop. This must have been one of his
never will again.
You won't will? Yeah, I was gonna say you won't again. Good luck.
Must have been one of his early films.
And wasn't he a pimp on Rock?
He was a drug dealer.
Drug.
Oh man.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Now he did play a pastor in some TV show, like Saints and Sinners. A pastor or a deacon. I haven't watched it.
Saints and Sinners Volume 3. What's that?
It's on. I think it's on Tubi.
I think it's on Tubi too.
Tubi Classic
because Tubi be out.
I think I've seen that, but yeah, it's very rare for him to play no pastor. He gonna be a pimp or a drug dealer.
he was a cricket deacon though. Cricket deacon or assistant pastor or something.
I don't doubt
it was boring. I just rewatched this a few weeks ago. I don't think this aged well. I
think this movie has a deeper meaning than I probably was willing to pay attention to.
Man, it was esoteric, man.
Is that just Joe?
Like
I
said, they had him in there quoting Iceberg Slim, a pimp from like the
70s. No, actually,
Slim. Well, I guess he go back further than that.
He was a drug addict. Slim was no pimp. He just used to write in the voice of pimp.
Yeah, because wouldn't somebody got him hooked on coke, right? But supposedly he turned pimp, but didn't turn writer. I don't know.
I mean, he just was a dude. I hope that this don't sound like I'm making myself grandiose. He's just a dude, kind of like me, who I got friends from all walks of life, and he got to know that life, and he wrote about it.
Right. I think
he was connected to it.
Well, like I said, I think there was they mentioned. Well, I looked it up. Like there was a guy there was a pimp from 1899 that got him hooked on coke, and so he kind of like you said, like H-Rap said, he just knew people from all walks of life. So he just he got into it, but then he got out of it and wrote about it. They have a documentary of it from 2013.
Yeah, I think I've seen that. He was in it. He was actually talking about it.
He was talking for a minute. Because I was like, why does these lines sound familiar that he keeps quoting? But see, now it makes me wonder why Bill Duke, why he would put that in the movie. Like, there's got to be some connection there.
Because Slim, Donald Goines, he writes from Donald Goines' writings put you in the seat of the fiery personality, the sociopath. He gives you the point of view from the sociopath, and if you kind of like what you were just saying, this is a more esoteric reading. Meaning, this is life from the perspective of a sociopath and an introvert at the same time. Because remember, this is a guy who had never had a drink, never took a puff on a cigarette. He go from being the ultimate square to being Scarface.
Right.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Basically. And because he's seen his dad, he didn't want to revert to that lifestyle. Now
it makes sense.
Yeah. So did y'all get the sense that he was already a cop, but it seemed like he just went. I'm assuming he was interviewing cops that was just maybe fresh on the force or something.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, that portion, like you could tell that they were new on the force, and like with anything else, you test into things, and they, as he stated, you have the mentality of a sociopath. You just chose good.
Right. Well, yeah, because he said you tested as a criminal.
Right, you tested as a criminal. So
What's up, CJ? Make sure to subscribe to his channel. Plays by CJ.
That dude is wild hundred.
He is.
That cat, man. I enjoy CJ's joints, man.
Yeah. Make sure to subscribe.
CJ's top notch, man. He's top notch.
Hey, man, numbers is going up too. So shout out to you, CJ. Round of applause to you. And he's doing Elevate Solo Dolo.
I caught him on Elevate last week too.
Yeah. So keep doing what you're doing, CJ. I knew it was you, Blue Streak. I knew it was you. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you for the recommendations. We got another film next week, and be another Laurence Fishburne joint to kind of round it out, and then we'll get into some of those recommendations. All right, so let's get to this scene. We already kind of talking about it, so let's play it, and then we'll talk about it. And that look on his face was like, I got me one now. I got me.
So I have to say, and I'm going to have to jump fast forward. Was this just really an interview for somebody that would hush up? Because he said the state was the one that was kind of allowing the drugs into the country. So were they just looking for a puppet?
Yes.
Yeah.
You have see it's like a counter. You will appreciate this. Well, you may appreciate it too, Ben. You know, I'm not saying that you would, but it's like a counter COINTELPRO.
Yes. Yeah.
Instead of infiltrating black organization, you are infiltrating the hood
with somebody that looks like
right.
Well, we saw that.
It's more believable when he's doing it than if they had
like Judas and the Messiah.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
It could be a J. Edgar Hoover tactic. I know that sounds terrible, but that's what it is.
No, it ain't terrible.
It's definitely a J.
We've watched it in numerous documentaries.
Who killed Malcolm X? Judas and the Black Messiah. I mean, I posted something in my reel today that said it was so many FBI agents in the Black Panther Party that they were snitching on each other.
Right.
Wow.
They were literally lying on each other. They'd be like, yeah, I saw Ben doing this. And then you'd be like, I saw Wilkes doing this, and Wilkes, I saw H-Rap doing this, and all those FBI.
Yeah. Man. Yeah, because like he said, to H-Rap's point, when I was watching that documentary, I think maybe, I don't know if we reviewed it, maybe we did, but it was they said like it got so big that we couldn't keep up with who was joining. Like we had no trace of who was joining. We were just allowing people in, and if they were willing to feed the community, we let them feed the community. And honestly, if we saw their face once and we didn't see them again, we don't know where they went, but we could not keep track of those people.
See, they said, man, on God, I would have acted like a nigga that day. Hey, well, one of them did.
One of them did, yeah.
The too tall.
They acted like a nigga.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah. But I felt like that was that was like kind of a foretelling scene, obviously. That the guy that was the calmer, the guy that was more what they wanted. And they They kind of got exactly what they wanted with Fishburne. So pretty quickly, everything moves pretty quickly. He ends up moving to LA 2 weeks later, and they're like, "Yeah, this is what you're gonna do." And he was a little hesitant, obviously, from the background that he came from. If you go back to the beginning of the film, but it's a movie, so obviously he had to be the one to accept it. But they pretty much got what they wanted. He ends up moving to LA, getting that spot. I thought the kid had more scenes in it, from what I remember, but he really only had a couple scenes, and then his mom,
boy.
yeah, and then his mom ended up dying.
Yeah,
ODing.
I thought they were going to be a little bit more frequent, but I guess not.
Yeah. I think he was just watching after him. He probably was. They wanted to give you a sense, like, hey, he's watching after him while he's going to his apartment and stuff like that.
Right.
I'm looking up something right now. I was just thinking when y'all were talking, this is a lot like Judas. Fishburne's character in this is a lot like the character who played Judas in the Black Messiah, outside of him being a criminal who was recruited by the FBI.
Yeah.
This dude was, and just think about it, this guy killed himself. What they say, he killed.
Right.
Stop.
Yeah, right.
They said he killed himself, but I'm telling y'all ever come to Chicago, I'm gonna show y'all what he said. They say he killed himself. And you got to be a high jumper, You
say something about the train, the subway, or something.
Yeah, man, you can't do that. It's my prayer thing. I pray 3 times a day, man. It's the same thing. It's the same concept. Because remember, the dude who actually set up Fred Hampton to die, he died saying he was doing something for the betterment of the community.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Right. Which is that whole situation is crazy. Judas and the Black Messiah. If you have not seen that, I think they did a really good job at depicting that and breaking it down. But this also has a parallel to somewhat Snowfall. It's the same situation. He was basically getting the money, getting the money from the government. So it's not like he was selling it, but in order for him to basically get into it, they were supplying him the money to be able to buy it. And so, and this story's kind of been told, different. We've seen this storyline before, but I think again, showing Fishburne's range, man, on these films we've done, he continues to show, his creative range and just what he's able to do. So, I'm glad it was on the list. I'm glad we did it. And then the Eddie character, I was waiting for him, man. I was just, please, somebody.
I don't know.
I love Eddie, man.
Eddie
not Eddie Winslow.
No.
Eddie Winslow.
Because when that dude said, "Hey, a prostitute goes to court," and the judge said, "Are you an Indian?" She said, "Yes." He said, "Are you a Navajo?" She said, "No, I'm a Chicago."
He was so stupid, man. He was just so stupid.
Oh God, Eddie.
I wouldn't expect any of that. I was like, come
on. I don't know
Bill,
if I've seen him in a. We seen him in a role like that. I know he normally plays like the button up kind of corny guy.
He usually plays a loose cannon kind of dude. Because then he's played a gay dude in I almost said Higher Learning, but it's another John Singleton movie.
Yeah, I know.
Tupac was the mailman.
Oh, Jason Lear. No,
Poetic Justice.
Poetic Justice, same thing.
Yeah.
Same difference. Inkwell, all the same.
All of them. All of them.
Yeah. Boys in the Hood, all that. It's right in
there. Yeah. So Eddie, Eddie is the supplier to the guys on the street, and he was already loose, man. He was gonna die within the next 30 minutes of him being introduced. I wasn't shocked or surprised.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then we had a Clarence Williams in this movie too.
My man,
this ain't no funeral home. This ain't no Terror Dome.
Hey man,
Tales from the hood, but we know him as solid from Mod Squad.
Another movie. The reason I really love this movie because one of my favorite MCs of the time, man. He was the bartender, man. His name Def Jeff.
Oh, Doug Chuck. Wow.
Def
Man,
Jeff was the bartender.
He was a bartender?
Yeah. He get that microphone to sit down because a brother like me is known to get out.
I ain't heard that name in a minute. It's been a minute since I heard that name.
They Eric Vaughn. Rocket Vaughn.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. Now the cat that was the a mixture between Full Force and the guy from Ghostbusters, Ernie Hudson. He was a mixture of Ernie Hudson and Full Force.
No, I think he was in Full Force.
He probably was.
I don't know, man. Hasta la vista, nigga. Like, come on, man. That line.
Like he stepped out of house party.
Exactly. Like he stepped right out of house party. Like he walked off the set.
Yeah.
And just came on the scene.
What he say to me? Yeah.
So let's play this scene real quick.
You're a girl.
That'll be the worst shooting scene I have ever seen in my life. But besides Menace to Society without drinking your juice in the hood. We've seen him and stuff too, but yeah.
I never noticed Kane until that very moment.
Yeah, hey, that was Ernie Hudson.
He was in there. That was the scene where they shot him in the back. Remember, he running down the alley.
Ricky.
Yeah, very reminiscent of that.
Man, that dude got to be related to Ernie Hudson, man. I was like, man, who is this?
I think he is in Full Force.
Maybe.
He can't be.
Maybe, man. That Jerry Curl with the ponytail, man. Oh, this guy's name
the
is
Mercedes,
John.
the classic '90s Mercedes medallion on the chain.
Hey man,
yeah, man.
Hey man, if you're gonna call it, you got to say what it is. Truck jewelry.
No, not that truck stuff, man. We don't call it that here, man. We don't call it down here, man.
That's what you call it, man.
We can't call that down here. We can't call it down here, man. It probably was the same dude, knowing them Full Force. Who knows?
Hey, you might have been an extra
one time.
He probably was. Unless he rocking that Full Force.
Cause he had that weird. He had that vest. He had that vest on and
Wow, West. Burning off in the Mercedes. That shit. I didn't know the Mercedes was burning off.
I love this movie, man. I don't know why y'all don't love this movie, man. Y'all started to sound like y'all a couple haters, man.
It was all right.
I never suspected you guys on this hater.
You know what? It's not.
It didn't age well. If I would have watched this back in 1992, yes.
I think I just
2023, no.
Oh man, see, man. To me, I think y'all be looking at movies when the older movies and trying to bring them to the now.
Oh no, you can't do that.
You have to take yourself.
Yeah. No.
If you think about it, man,
I think for me,
that was the 90s at that point because
absolutely.
1992 is right when it got insanely violent with the drug thing.
Right.
This is when the drug. If you watch Snowfall, this is right around the time the gangbangers got into the dope game.
I mean,
so
absolutely.
That's why
you have to separate. Yeah, you have to separate the nostalgia of the movie from the presentation of the movie. Don't get me wrong. I appreciate Bill Duke, what he's doing there and what's happening. And don't let me mislead you because I called it shit because, whatever. But at the end of the day, I have to say, I've never really for me, I had never watched this movie all the way through without commercials. That's why I needed to see it without the commercial breaks. I couldn't do Tubi. I was like, no, I need to watch this movie right because I don't want to miss anything.
Right.
But no, I think for the moment it was definitely on par with what was going on because I definitely, honestly, when I was watching this, I felt like Deuces pulled from this movie a little bit. Deuces. With the undercover Deuces we just watched.
That was one we did. Well, me and you wasn't on it.
On that
one.
I don't. Yeah,
it was you and
no, it was just me. It was just me and.
That's the day I moved. I moved that day.
Yeah,
but that's right. And I think it was pulling from that movie. Like I kind of got that vibe. But all these kind of I mean, from what was the one with Ice Cube had something similar to this? Not Ice Cube. Ice-T had a movie kind of similar to this where he went undercover or something like this, or he wasn't undercover, but he was playing that narcotic that
when they were in that warehouse.
Yeah. He had something kind of similar. It was just that time, and it was just that era, like what was happening, like you said. Yeah, and like you said, it's that drug epidemic. It's that war on drug, dare, all that. I mean, it's definitely in that same vein. So yeah, I mean, I can appreciate it for that. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate the film, but Felix Barbosa just didn't look. He didn't look like a drug dealer. I mean, he didn't look like like that era of. You're expecting like a scar. This dude looked like a science teacher.
I think so. Ben, I have to disagree because I think so. Because as big of a fan as I am of Miami Vice, if you look at how the drug dealers dressed and how they looked in that, Felix had this. I mean, the double-breasted suit.
He was a drug dealer on Miami Vice.
That's what I'm saying. He was even Clarence.
That's Julio Fuentes from Sanford or something.
Yeah, he was a drug dealer on that. They had that L.A. Cocaine Cowboy, Miami vibe, that Latin America that was
up. Well, it's Philip
it had
that New York.
Yeah, that New York. Yeah, man. I think it definitely embodied that. I mean,
man,
that's just what it was at the time. And like I said, me being a fan of Miami Vice growing up, watching it with my granddad. I mean, I think Felix pulled it off. Now, how quickly they offed some of these drug dealers, I was a little surprised. But I guess because
I don't know, man. God rest his soul. This homeboy I grew up with, he came short on one package. And they took him by the underpass and threw him out the van.
Man,
one.
I mean, they would.
I mean, because it was like, you short, I'll kill you.
Like, pretty much. Like you had too many chances. Yeah. Oh well. I mean, look at Trading Day.
His name is Uville Reed.
Who was the fat dude that was like, no, Felix, don't do it, Felix?
That was too much.
They didn't need that guy. It's like he was like.
It was like,
hey, from Rocky.
We'll give you a job.
Gay sidekick or something.
Like, what are you doing? He's like, please, this is my birthday.
I wasn't feeling that at all. I was
they could have cut him out.
You know what it was, right? It's that typical look after your brother. You know, because your brother's not smart. They're gonna beat up on you. It's that kind of thing. Probably felt sorry for him. Gave him a little piece of the company. You know how it is.
That dude,
because he ends up hanging out with Fishburne in the end.
Yeah, right, because once again, like I said, look out for your brother. Well, they all dead. Fishburne gonna feel sorry for him. Take him in, you know. Fix his role.
That's one role I just didn't. I'm like, why is this dude in this movie?
Yeah, I didn't get. But I think I agree with you, Wooks. I think he was more like a overseer or consultant or advisor.
Absolutely.
He wasn't really doing. Yeah, he wasn't really. They wasn't listening to him either. So it wasn't like Yeah, and then when they started playing Hot Hands, which I didn't know that was like,
Lord. Made it seem like that was ain't hit nobody that hard, man.
Yeah, they made it seem like that was like a Jewish game or something. That the way he was talking to me. Well, you ain't playing Hot Hands that hard when your knuckles are bleeding, unless he was punching them in the nut.
If he would have hit me that hard, they'd have killed me that day because he ran. I'd have been like.
I don't know who's slapping somebody that hard though. You finna bleed though. I don't understand.
Yeah.
I mean, the dude was like bandaged. Yeah, come on, Goldblum.
Come on, man.
Get out of here, man.
They didn't respect him. They made him man. Basically, he just
and he walked away like
the
this.
Worst. Yeah, he walked away like this, and he was kicking stuff as he was. He was kicking stuff as he was.
Man said, "I want my cake too."
Yeah, but he did have that quirkiness, which was what he's known for. I think that added a good feel to it. But for some reason I thought he was like a real estate agent or a businessman, but he really wasn't. He was just in the drug game. That was it.
He was an attorney though. Remember? He was
right. He did. You're right. He did. Yeah.
Remember, he got him out the place. He said, "I'll be 5,000."
Right. Yeah.
Where that kind of pretty much came from, wasn't it?
Ice Cube kind of.
Ice Cube. Okay, it was Ice Cube. I was gonna say it was Ice Cube. Well, he was in that movie. Yeah.
And see, this is another reason you kind of like. Well, I don't know why Big Illinois don't like it. We don't have to rap about it one day. But another reason, this is the everything in my youth at this point, at that point between 1986 and yesterday, it's kind of centered around hip hop culture. You were happy. I can remember being happy anytime they made a hip hop reference in anything. So him saying Ali 5000, you like, we in here. It was nostalgic. So maybe that's why I kind of did it, because like I told you, I was, hey man, I'll not say this on
I mean, it was real quick. I mean, to H-Rap's point, the nostalgia is definitely there. I mean, even the red Benz. I mean, the red Benz. Right. Off. I mean, red was the color you in a Benz. If you got a Benz, I mean, you doing it. I mean, if you got a Lincoln Stretch, you doing it. I mean, you got trench coat. I mean, I think to H-Rap's point, that 90s nostalgia was definitely there. And LA being put on the scene as far as rap and the drug, what they were trying to do that there, and Compton and Watts. Right. I mean, all the LA riots, And
that's the summer of Dr. Dre.
Yeah,
this movie started Death Row.
Yeah, pretty much.
They did the soundtrack, right?
They did the soundtrack. Yeah. So this movie introduced us to Snoop Dogg. He was Snoop Donkey Dogg at this point.
Now, was this around the time when he had that court case, the murder?
No, that was
a little bit later.
4 years later.
Okay, that was later.
A little bit later. Yeah.
No. Ben, this is the first time we ever saw Snoop Dogg.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because that was kicked off his whole career. Because I remember the soundtrack more than now. When I think about it, more than I really remember.
Yeah, Deep Cover. I think Deep Cover got recognition for the soundtrack, and then, like I said, Into Deep was quoted most of references. But yeah, I think Deep Cover got known because of the soundtrack. I think that's exactly what it. Even though, like I said, it was in the height of LA, the drug scene. Things were going on in LA. But Deep Cover definitely is a significant, even though we think it may have aged terribly. I mean, that's just me. I don't think so, but I think it's definitely a significant movie. I think it's definitely something that, like I said, it represented that nostalgia of the time.
And one thing that did, unlike most movies, I heard the soundtrack.
We know on this one. We know on this one.
And that club scene, when dude peed on him, that was the wackest redhead kingpin song in the world, man. I was like, I forgot. I was like, what?
And then he just pushed him. I mean, you pushed him that hard. He was like from the center all the way to the stall. Like,
and you go call me a fucking bitch for shooting you? Nigga, you peed on me, man. And you coming at me. Yeah.
You did. That was his last words.
Right.
Hey, boy, if that had been me, Damon Wayans would have showed up from Colors. Then he pumped so much lead and told me to turn him into a pencil. I'm telling you, boy, I'd have empty. I went to jail. They'd have caught me shooting. Right.
Right.
If he would have called him, you fake ass Ernie Hudson, he would have called him that when he shot him. That would have been funny.
I'm not gonna let you run up on me, man. Come on, man. Get out of here, man, with that mess, man.
Yeah. But again, we continue to talk about Fishburne showing some more range. And then when he had to kill that cat, that was kind of like almost like his initiation was like, all right, I'm really in this now. Even he was sick to his stomach because he knew, like, all right. I mean, that's me really showing that I'm committed to this. And I think it was kind of like all right, I'm really about to do this. Before it was kind of like I'm just playing, I'm just doing what they tell me to do. And eventually it was like, all right, I'm just gonna do this. That's beneficial for me and them.
And you know what? This like I jokingly said it's an esoteric meaning to this, but now that I'm looking at it and I'm thinking about it, it was an esoteric meaning to this. This is, in essence,
that's what I said. There's a meaning there.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You know what? Even as I'm watching it again, because I own this movie, so it was easy for me to watch this. I could have watched this 15, 20 more times. But I'm like, wow, this is the introduction to the drug gang, to the urban community. And
Absolutely.
you know, I don't want to really say it. You know, the Jewish lawyer. It was stereotypical. The Jewish lawyer, the
Yep.
Latino drug kingpin,
Yep.
forcing dope. And I promise you, it is just coming to mind right now.
Yeah.
And if Whoops wouldn't have jokingly said that earlier, it would have never affected me that way.
Yeah, because I think it entangles, like you said. If I can muddy the waters between the blacks, the Jews, and the Hispanics, the Mexicans, whatever, I'm gonna keep doing what I'm. Because, like I said, even in the beginning, I didn't get it until we really got on here tonight, and you showed that clip again. Like, are you looking for somebody, a yes man? Are you looking for somebody that you can use? Because, like he said at the end, when he testified. Well, no. Matter of fact, I take that back. When he had him in the parking garage, and he told him, he's like, "It's the state, man. It's the state, man." He's like, so they were just looking for somebody that they could a yes man, and then all of a sudden get him turned out, pretty much, hoping that he get probably turned out on his own material, on his own product,
or killed,
killed.
Right. So then it cleans their hands of it.
Yeah, preferably
killed. Right.
Preferably killed.
You did what we wanted you to do, and now you done. We don't owe you nothing. Now we can move on.
And honestly, and I think H-Rap would agree, and even you, Ben, I think that is the song today. I think it's the song to find that person that will be the mortar and don't care if we give you, and then you get so far into it, now it's the glitz and glamour, but then hopefully that glitz and glamour will take you under, and you don't have to testify. We don't have to worry about you talking because you dead now. Like,
you gone.
Hey, how about this?
Yeah,
that girl, Sexy Red. It's the new drug dealer, but the drug dealer is ignorance. The drug of choice is ignorance,
right?
Because if I give you money, it'll only fuel your ignorance.
360 deals,
like Jeff Goldblum character said. I know that money and power and women, it gets you off. This is just what it is. Like, that's got you distracted right now.
Yeah.
So he's like, hey man, don't worry about it, because he's like, what are you doing, man? Forget this dude. Let's go, man. We got money in this van. Let's get out of here, man.
Right. Is this what's holding you back?
Right.
Ha.
Right.
Ha. Yeah.
Man.
There you go.
Goldblum walked over here like a pimp, bro. He had that coat on. Man.
He started off real soft, and towards the end, he became I can't anybody.
I wouldn't call him soft. I would just call him the consummate middleman.
Yeah, I think he already had that edge. I think it's just they finally pushed him, and he wasn't gonna take no more push.
He wasn't the guy to get his hands dirty.
Right.
He became that guy.
Yeah, because even when the guy showed up to his house, he's like, "What you doing, man? I'll show up to my house, man. You crazy?
Yeah,
I'm having breakfast with my family." Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And then Barbosa like, I see your wife over there too.
Yeah, man, dude was wild, man.
Yeah, he
came a long way from being Julio Fuentes, man.
Yep, and he ended up getting hit by that cop car.
Oh, that was hard.
Yeah, but I think there was a line where Fishburne was kind of talking about what he was doing, and he was like, I started to enjoy it. I'm starting to make money.
Yeah,
and now I'm in too deep.
I mean,
trying to get out.
I mean, yeah, because he even said I had to get another apartment. I had to move. I had to change my clothes. I was dressing nice. My cars. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you have to, man. Especially if you're starting to become that figurehead. I mean, and the way he just off the Gallegos like that quick, I wasn't expecting that.
No, me either.
I
thought that was going to drag on for a little while.
Yeah,
he was like, he's saying this right now.
He said, no, because if we would have gave him his money, he would have killed us. I know what the deal is.
Yeah.
Hey, I think honestly, this opened the door for him to do Hoodlum, because I think he saw that. I think he noticed that, you know what, this character would be perfect if I get him to play the Godfather of Harlem, because the character he played in Deep Cover. So I think he definitely was aware of that, and I felt like that was a setup for that.
Yeah,
I can see that. I can see that.
Man, he had a crazy run. He had Boys in the Hood in '91.
Oh,
deep cover.
Huh? Hold on, before that,
School Days.
School Day.
Yeah, right.
He was down.
Yeah. School Days in '88. At 91, he had Boys in the Hood. 92, he had Deep Cover. 93, he had What's Love Got to Do with It.
It was busy.
95, he had Higher Learning, and then 97, he had Hoodlum. And I mean, he had a lot of other films in between there.
And then after that, late, like what, 99, The Matrix hit. He was Morpheus for at least 3 of them.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean,
and then y'all too young to remember. He was also the dude. They killed Cornbread.
Yeah, but let's take it back to Pee-wee's Playhouse now.
Oh my God! Let's not do that. Let's spam that one.
Yeah, let's not do that.
I never bring that up,
boy Curtis.
That's what I was like.
With the Jerry curl, I was
Lord.
like, "Come on, Fishburne."
Oh,
He was Larry then. He was definitely Larry.
He was definitely Larry. Cowboy
Larry.
Larry.
Don't do it, Larry.
Live.
Oh man,
yeah, they killed Cornbread. I remember that.
They killed Cornbread.
Yeah, that was his first. That was his first thing. Cornbread Earl and me. But we need to do that too.
Hey, boy, that's hard, man. That's hard.
Now I have to say, this next one that we watched, I don't remember the Tuskegee Airmen with Laurence.
I watched that. I watched it a bunch of times.
I have to say, I don't think I watched this one.
Yeah, I remember.
I knew of it.
The story, obviously, yeah, but I don't. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think I've watched it. Is that the same one that's got Jonathan Majors? Is it kind of like that? Is that what it's based on? Is not based on?
I've never seen the one with Jonathan Majors, so I can't really comment on it. But I'm assuming.
Yeah. I think that one's on HBO Max, the one with Jonathan Majors. But it has nothing to do with Tuskegee Airmen, right? I don't think so.
I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't watched that one either. I don't know. It was kind of around that time when this whole abuse case came out, so
they brought it back
movie probably didn't get a lot.
They must be like, fuck it.
Yeah, well, but that movie didn't get, I think, a lot of pubs.
Yeah, because of
what happened. Yeah. But they brought it back to Loki, so Marvel
don't care about that. They got Robbie Downey Jr. Was Iron Man for how many years? So
he's
20.
Yeah,
and he was literally the character in Less Than Zero.
Hey, let me tell you, Robbie Downey Jr. is perfect for Tony Stark because Tony Stark was an alcoholic and a womanizer. Yeah. Robbie Downey Jr. embodied that character.
Yeah,
now they never made him play that role because there is a Tony Stark comic book to this day. I think it's called like Demons in a Bottle or something like that. But I mean, it was almost. I mean, Robbie Downey was perfect for that role.
And you know what, Wills? That's the beautiful thing about. That's the thing I truly appreciate about Marvel Comics. They were talking about the issues of the day, like when Spider-Man got molested.
Absolutely, Marvel was always on top of it. I don't think Marvel was afraid to shy away from that. Marvel was always. I mean, like we said a few months ago, Marvel, the X-Men are literally patterned after the Civil Rights Movement.
Yeah, King and
King and Malcolm X. I mean, even when you watch it, if you watch like the X-Men cartoon or even the books, whatever you do, whatever, even if you find some on YouTube that I'm sure there's civil rights comparisons with the X-Men. I'm pretty sure somebody's got a video. Mm-hmm. Dude, there is too much parallel information there.
And then, like, people don't realize the first Captain America is black, and he is a victim of the Tuskegee experiment.
Yeah. Which they had in
which they mentioned in Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
He said, "Man, I can't go out there, man. You want me to go out in public?"
Right.
He sits in his room. He sits in the penthouse in all the comics, just looking out the window, overlooking New York. And the only time I ever seen him out of that apartment is when Storm married T'Challa.
That was the only time. Yeah.
Only time I seen him out of that.
I said I have to give a heads up to Marvel because Marvel definitely, the writers, people, I have to say, people get all over Disney when they want to be woke or whatever, but Marvel's been doing it for decades, dude. Marvel's been doing it for years.
Yeah.
Marvel has always
the fact that they pretty much have a superhero in almost every area of the world, really.
Right.
So
almost in every,
pretty much every, and not afraid, especially with Black Panther. Black Panther is a character that is not afraid to be bombastic. because it's one of those things where they literally have a cover, him fighting the KKK in an alley.
Mm-hmm.
The Black Panther was based on that.
Yeah.
Based on the group, the movement. So it was
they're not afraid.
Marvel has always been that forefront of like, these are the real issues going on, and this is just what's up. I think Marvel has always done that. Marvel definitely, absolutely.
And shout out to Stan Lee, man. The head of it, man.
And Jack Kirby. They were.
He could easily been like, "Nah, we just could keep this
right."
And look, and just to show you how positive energy, on some straight corny stuff like RZA, positive energy activates constant elevation, peace.
Mm.
He had no issue sticking up for Black issues, speaking on Black issues,
absolutely
not Black people, right? And look at this: 30 years later, a Black man saves his brand with Blade.
Yep. Yeah. You what you put in is what'll come back around.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so shout out also to Victoria Dillard. She was the character that played Betty in this. She was also one of the bathers on Coming to America, coming back around again, and she
chocolate.
Yeah, and so she she was another one of those actors doing that era. She's been in some other things too, but she did a good job.
The movie with Denzel?
Yes. I don't know what the was that Ricochet.
Yeah, he was the rookie. Was he a rookie in that one?
No,
Robert De Niro was in that one too, wasn't he?
Ricochet is with Ice-T, Denzel, and you're talking about what's the name of that?
The Fan?
30 Rock. That's the Fan. You're talking about Wesley Snipes and Robert De Niro's the Fan.
Okay.
30 Rock, the dude from 30 Rock is the dude.
That's right.
She was also in The Best Man. I don't know. It says she played Anita, and she was in Ali. She was Betty Shabazz in Ali.
Surprised they ain't have Angela Bassett played.
That's a role for her. So man, we've done so far. We've done the sci-fi Fishburne. We've done the hoodlum Fishburne. We've done the cop Fishburne. Next week we'll be doing Tuskegee, and we did the funny but not funny Fishburne. And what's love got to do with it?
What'd you say?
What'd you say you had to make? You eat this cake. So man, we continuing to show his range, and we're gonna take a quick break from one of our sponsors for this month, and then we'll kind of round it out, get to some final thoughts. So today's show is sponsored by Sheer Alternatives, which is a 100% natural toothpaste for bad breath, teeth whitening. It is Black and veteran owned. You can check out some of the products right here, sheeralternatives.com. They have toothpaste, mouthwash. They also have a coconut pulling oil. So you go to the website, you'll see everything they have there. It's all natural with limited ingredients, no fluoride, no additional stuff in it that you don't need. I use it myself. I could definitely say I've seen the difference in my teeth, so you can definitely check them out. And they're at the Farmers Market. If you're in Dallas or coming to Dallas, you can check them out at the Farmers Market on Saturdays and Sundays. And also you can scan that QR code and be on top of all the products that they have. All right. So let's round it out. We got 10-2 Rangers up, and I think it's the 7th. But let's get to some final thoughts and Mike rating. We're gonna go to A-Trap first.
Final thoughts is I'm gonna have to look at this again and look at it from you guys' perspective in regards to it not aging well. It's just one of those things that I every time I turn this on, I get caught up in a moment.
Yeah.
So, but I would give it a 3.5. It's one of my favorite movies. But like a lot of people assume because it's one of your favorite movies, you think it's the best thing ever. No, it's just one of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
So I'll say it's a 3.5, Mike. And I like the story. And again, we've spoke about it this evening, this is my wheelhouse. This is community exploitation, Black exploitation, the system working against the community. So that's kind of my deal. So that could be why it is one of my favorite movies as well. But, thank you guys for triggering my memories of, making me think as we were doing this, because if Wilkes hadn't said that, I would have never looked deeper. It was just like, it was always one of those things like, yeah, man, the man holding me back. It was just like, I could see what's happening. Because at some point, I got a friend, and I'm going to be quiet. I have a friend who works in government, and he literally told me he had an opportunity to go for the FBI, and then he was going to go with the DEA. He said, dude showed up in an Air Jordans. He showed up in a jersey, some jorts, and laid a big gun on the table and said, you can, you going to shoot somebody, you're going to sell drugs, and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So
he was telling them.
He was just telling them.
That's what you're going to do.
That's what you're going to do. So he chose another route. So, it's just one of those things, man. And it does make you just wonder about, how do you do this job?
Yeah.
Because I mean, it was killing him, and then at the end when he seen Clarence Williams killed, it was kind of like he snapped. Wow, this dude was actually this dude was looking out for me, and now he's gone. I think he related it to his dad. He had some parallels.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm sure he related it to his dad at that moment. It's like, man, if I could save him, and maybe there's some redemption. But
of
course, Goldblum,
I mean,
contributed.
the stuff he was saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, that line right there, man. That was a little suspect.
Yeah.
But I think he acted like he was ignoring it, but he was the only one that really seen him for who he really was. Nobody else really did. I think Goldblum seen him on one side of his
that woman seen him too.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think he knew that too. I think he knew that.
Yeah.
He gonna always keep the honeys though.
Right. Yeah, he only had that one. He only had that one.
I'm clean. I ain't got AIDS.
Like
what?
Hey,
I didn't even ask you. I didn't ask you if you had AIDS.
Well, hey, man,
go together. I'll be your girl. Like, wait a minute, hold on. You were just yelling at me, girl.
Hey, y'all got to realize that's a year after Magic Johnson.
Wow,
yeah, that's true.
Wow,
I'm telling you,
it was going with the comedy on there.
Yeah.
Hey, I got a homeboy, man. He smashed the chick raw the night before Magic Johnson made the announcement. That man called me the next day. Joe, you got to come over here, man. I'm like, what? Man, B, come through, man. I'm like,
what you want me to do when I get there, man?
And then I'm like, you can kill somebody. I got a wish good man. Because we used to say when you ain't wear a condom, he's like, man, I splashed last night, man. Magic got that. Right. I was like, man, what? Did you smash a chick in LA?
There's this video on TikTok where the guy's like, man, what kind of AIDS Magic Johnson got, man? This dude got businesses. He must got financial AIDS.
Right.
Anyway. Hey, man, Magic is
the healthiest HIV dude ever.
Really. Ever. All right, Whoops.
Well, my final thoughts, I have to say, I gave this movie a hard time, but really just kind of, especially in the beginning with the police officers, and like I just notated earlier, I didn't pick up on it then, but I picked up on it tonight that they were pretty much picking somebody that was a yes man, so they could put him in place, and hopefully he get killed and he don't get too nosy, and if we can keep a rein on him, So just the nostalgia of the movie and the setting and what was going on in that time outside of the movies, because once again, those movies were imitating life pretty much.
Yeah.
So
what was really going on,
especially in the 90s, especially after Reagan, early Bush, Clinton period. I mean,
R&B, man. That's just the R&B era.
Yeah, R&B. I mean, hey, man.
R&B. Reagan and Bush.
Reagan and Bush. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, he was the vice president. Reagan was the president. I mean, it was one of those things. So
that's a 12-year period.
Yeah, so
Black
definitely.
behind.
I mean, they were just playing off of what they saw and writing off of what they've been through. So, and I know I misjudged the movie this morning today. It's kind of like, oh man, what is this shit? This shit is garbage.
So it'd be great.
But no, I didn't really have a rating for it because I remember this movie, but I was, like I said, when I saw this movie, it had commercials, so there was a lot of breaks. There wasn't like continuations there, so I have to give it I have to put it at maybe 3.5 mics.
Okay,
it could be a 4 just because of
fair.
the era and the time, like what was happening. The Dare movement, if that was even a movement, I don't. A-Trap, correct me if that was even. I don't know.
Yeah. All that.
The posters were everywhere, and Nancy Reagan was trying to do her thing, but whatever.
Nancy Reagan in the face.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Hey, she gone,
Right.
man. You got to open up her casket.
Good. I still do it.
Can we
Shout
all
out to
get
Mr.
along?
Slimeball.
LA
Who
riots,
hold on, who Mr. Slimeball?
Me.
Oh,
Slime ball.
Wow.
No,
That's really my thoughts.
it's a long story.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, I felt like it was good. It was good. I don't think it aged well, but I do think it definitely has that deeper meaning, which everything we watch has that. And to me, I'm wondering if you were, like you just said, A-Trap, you're joining the FBI, was this basically your role? Was it like you're gonna be an informant, or you're gonna be somebody? Yeah, or yeah. Right. But if you're gonna be joining, you're gonna basically be undercover, because we know that's basically we can typecast you. That's all you really can do. Can't do nothing else. So that had me thinking that did have a good ending. Him and Betty, they kind of went off, into the sunset. So it had a good ending. Nobody got he didn't get killed at the end. So I felt like I had a good ending too.
All the bad people died.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. Besides that, Ernie was it Carver. Besides Carver probably ended up going to jail. But then the guy with the tape, and he was like, "I need that tape." What he said, this is unacceptable. I need that tape now. The old
probably wouldn't have gone to jail. Yeah, Oliver North didn't go to jail.
Yeah, but I was definitely thinking about Snowfall with this. Like I said, when you guys started talking, I was like, oh, it's just one of those things, man. It just, Donnie, man, this is a complex time in history, man. I mean, looking back on this, because it's different for me, right? Because like you guys were little boys, right? But 10,
I was coming of age, right? 92, I was 22. I was coming of age. And I'm going to give you a perfect example of what I'm talking about. Over the last maybe 5 years, everybody has been saying, man, Chicago is insane. Do you know the second most people in the history of Chicago was killed this year, 1992?
Wow.
The most were killed. Wow. The record is 1972 with 972. This year was 917. And everybody around the country is going nuts about 515, 430 now.
Yeah, and that's been
how much?
Yeah.
That's been a run.
Almost double.
That's been a 5 to 10 year run. They've been crapping on Chicago.
And see, the thing is, before like each major city across the Mississippi has had their run so far in my lifetime, in my, adolescent to adult life.
Yeah.
Initially, it was Detroit and Baltimore. No, actually, initially, as a young boy, as a boy, it was New York. And then it was Detroit and Baltimore. Then it was Miami. Then it went from Miami all the way to LA. And then it's been floating around Philadelphia and stuff like that. And now it's in Chicago. I remember at one point, do you know it's more people in Forney than in it's more people in 50% of Forney than it is in Gary. And at one point they were trying to say Gary was the murder capital of America.
Yeah. They tried to slide that in there.
5 people. And then per capita. If 5 people get killed in Gary, 19 people
they be twisting the stats like they do in sports.
But that's
Really
why
twisting the stats around and make the player
that's
look.
that's
better.
why that's why like when somebody talks about statistics, I'm like, man, statistics can be misscrewed and can be twisted. I'm like, don't give me statistics.
Right.
Like that can be manipulated. Like,
I guarantee you on Monday Night Football right now, they're talking about whoever had one interception in the last 2.5.9 games. Like
all the time.
They find stats so that it makes
my favorite. This is my favorite stat. I blow out my knee week 1.
Right.
I come back week 3. I score my first touchdown. He hasn't scored a touchdown since last September.
Man,
how many games has he played?
Right. Thank you.
Right. Right. So I'm gonna give it a 3. I started at a 3. I'm gonna leave it at a 3. I think it's pretty much right there in the middle. But yeah, this is definitely one of those films I'm glad we did continue on the show Fishburne's range. And like I said, next week we'll be doing Tuskegee Airmen to round out this series.
I think y'all gonna like this.
Oh yeah, I think I am too.
I'm aware of the movie. For some reason, I've just never watched it. I don't remember it. If I start watching it, it may come back to me if I saw it on TV. But I can honestly say right now, I don't know much about the movie. I know about the story, but I don't know about the movie.
Right. Yeah, the story, obviously
the story. Yeah. So the story.
Yeah, it was
cool. Has anybody ever done a movie on? Was it? Is it Doris Miller?
Not that I know.
Pearl Harbor. Has anybody ever done a movie on Doris Miller? I mean, I guess I don't know if there's a lot to really. I mean, I guess you could, but I'm just wondering because he was the cook in Pearl Harbor, but he took over the
got down. Right, he went out there.
Yeah, he took over the gun. Yeah, he took over that gun and shot down Japanese.
Like what, 27 planes?
Yeah, like 27 planes. I don't think anybody's done a Doris Miller story.
Nah, they ain't doing that.
Well, what am I saying, man?
Man, in this cast, in Tuskegee Airmen, Cuba Gooding Jr., obviously Lawrence, Courtney B. Vance, Malcolm Jamal Warner, Alan Payne. I'm my brother's keeper. Man, this
not in this movie. Alan Payne off himself in this.
Yeah.
Oh, really? All right. Well, definitely we'll be looking forward to that next week. What's coming up on the end of the bench tomorrow?
End of the bench is going to be a quirky. 1 second. Oh, because I this is my second show today.
Yeah. Hey, yeah. You doing 2 days?
Yeah, I'm doing 2 days. Tomorrow I'm going to talk about as Black folks, we need to pay attention to what's going on in Gaza. We've been faced with something along these lines. People don't realize it. Which is going to lead me to the show about Wednesday. But the second one is, I'm just going to talk about how this Gaza thing could potentially be a preview. And I'm going to reference a movie that I don't want to give up yet, so I want y'all to watch. And then I'm going to talk about Marsha Urban, voter fraud with voter fraud, the state's attorney, Jason Campbell. Then I'm going to talk about the acknowledgement of 1,900 titles, with books that have been changed. You have women going around this country. I forgot what the name of that group is, but this is Fascism 101. And they've removed 1,900 books from libraries and schools, not just schools. See, everybody knows that they're removing books from school, and these are anything that are covering statistics, history, and things of that nature.
Yeah.
Knowledge is under attack. This is Fascism 101.
The funny thing is, real quick, I just want to jump in there, H-Rep. I remember something like this in the 90s where it's like, why are you, you're literally removing books that you're offended by, but won't take the time to read.
You're not even reading the books.
You're not even reading the books. You're not even,
They're just going based off the title and the cover.
Right.
And are you talking about Moms for Liberty?
Yeah, Moms for Liberty.
Yeah. Automatically offended. Won't even take the time to try to understand it.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to provide this website, and there's a toolkit SOS toolkit, save our schools. And then I'm talking about remember a few months ago I talked about the Indian Welfare Act.
Yep.
And in Texas, you literally had white people step up and say, they were angry that Native people had their first dibs at a Native child. And they was like, and they literally wrote this in their bill. They need to be raised with white Christian values.
Stop.
And if anybody ever watched that episode, they are taking step 2. They're in North Carolina. They are trying to remove parental rights from people who commit crimes. And of course, you've been socialized to believe, you've been socialized to think black kids. But I want people to think about this. If you are going to say, if you commit a crime, we can take away your parental rights. That's another way of, look at it this way. If Assata Shakur, if that would have happened to her, we never have Tupac. Not that Tupac is some earth-shattering individual and world-changing figure, but you never have that.
Yeah,
you would whitewash the world, and this is phase 2 of basically indoctrinating a mental state. And Wednesday, me and Mo, we're going to cover that movie. I need y'all to tune in tomorrow. And it's with Mike Africa. And please, I'll give y'all the movie, but I want people to tune in tomorrow because I'm gonna give a preview of the movie. Because I'm telling y'all, if y'all don't know about this movie, I'll just tell you, forget it. It's called 40 Years a Prisoner.
40 Years a Prisoner.
Yeah, it's on HBO.
We reviewed that.
Yeah, we reviewed it
early
we
on.
reviewed that, didn't we?
Yeah. And we're going to talk about 40 Years a Prisoner because people don't realize, like, all the stuff going on in Gaza, right? And people going, how could you bomb a city? Well, y'all bombed Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Y'all literally bombed people, and these are
neighborhood.
Yep.
A block. Not even a neighborhood, a block.
Yep.
Yeah. And that's a solid film right there too.
Yeah, so we're gonna talk about that, and if we have if the conversation isn't overrun, we're going to talk. It's either gonna be this week or next week. We're gonna talk about Sexy Red, and I want people to have a conversation about Sexy Red. People are always going, "Oh, she's stupid. We love Trump. The hood loves Trump." And I believe when you call a young lady stupid, it's an assault. It's an affront to her because that is elitism. Right. Yeah, we're college educated, so we had the privilege to learn civics, and you had the ability to go to a library, or you were in a classroom next to a civics person. So we always attack people for what they don't know in this community. And how you gonna get mad at me because I don't know? Right. Think about it. Sexy Red is Lois. Let me look up right now. That's what I was trying to look up right now. Sexy Red. I'm trying to see how old she is. Sexy.
Gotta be early 20s, I'm sure.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that chick. Jesus.
No, but think about it like this, Will. She's 25 years old. So when Donald Trump was in office, she was 16 to 19 years old.
Man, time flies.
Right. Now, this is a young lady who was probably coming from an impoverished situation. Let me see. She's from St. Louis, Missouri. So there's a great chance that she was coming from an underserved community. And you struggling, and your parents getting checks that say Donald Trump that's helping y'all get through. So why wouldn't you?
Oh yeah, after you see that,
right? You would support them, and it's our job as a community to reach out to her instead of excoriating her. It's easy to go, "You stupid," but no, she's not stupid. She's just looking at her circumstance and her circumstances and going, "When I needed, he was there." Even though he wasn't there, that was a congressional thing. But you don't know that because you've been trained that the president is the man.
Yeah, he's the one making all the decisions.
Right, and he's the last dude that's making all the decisions.
Right.
So, how you gonna say that? How you gonna call? I'm not talking about you, Wilson. I'm just saying.
No, I know what you mean. Yeah, no, obviously. I mean, if you don't bite the hand that feeds you, right?
Right, and that's what it is.
And if you don't know, you don't know.
Exactly.
Right.
But somebody has got to point it out and say, "Hey, you're not 100% correct on that."
Yeah,
you do some more research. Right. It's always the approach, and I think how we tell somebody they're wrong.
And that's the thing,
And honestly, to your point, like I said, I didn't know much about her anyway. It was kind of one of those things where people were posting it. I'm, kind of like me, where people were kind of going in on, other artists. And I'm like, I don't know. I have I have no beef against these artists. I don't know these people. I don't even listen to their music. It's just like, it shouldn't be any surprising. We put anybody else on or listen to them. Like, hey, she blowing up. She blowing up. She getting, and who knows? Like you said, at the end of the day, she may flip the script.
But it's up to us to help her flip the script.
Right.
And nobody wants to. They just want to,
Yeah.
And like, we got a couple things to talk about tomorrow, Wednesday, and we may not even get to some of them. But it's this. I won't say this off air, but it's just a couple things that I'm looking up something right now. I'm trying to get this information before we get off air. But yeah, man, it's kind of sad, man, because it's some people, and it's a couple celebrities that I will never support again. It's this one in particular. One of them I never selected to begin with. Whatever, Negro. But this other dude, I'm just like, nah, man. No. I'll never support this comedian ever again. And I really used to like him. I dig him, but like, nah, homeboy. I ain't mess with you no more.
Yeah.
But knowledge is under attack in Tallahassee, Florida. And the two big things is knowledge and the gossip thing, and I'm gonna play a clip from this thing and let people see, hey man, we can no longer just be politically ignorant.
Yeah.
Because I had someone close to me recently say, see, that's black people's fault. They don't want to learn nothing. I said, how could you learn something that you don't even know exists? You should want to know it. I said, but what are you going to look up?
GameStop.com? You're right.
Yeah.
So, and then make it, AI is making people dumber. It's enforcing stupidity. Yeah. Hey, Ben, do me a favor.
Telling you.
Your daughter can tell time. And that sounds stupid, but
oh no. Yeah, no, you're right. Because I mean, if you buy a watch or you got a phone, you may not ever look at your clock. You may not ever look at a traditional clock to know what time it is. And
kids can't.
It's not crazy.
Tell time. It's
not crazy. Counting money. I mean, all that.
Yeah, man.
I mean, we got to go through the line at the store, and if you don't know what the difference is, you just got to take all the money out of your wallet and just give it to the person.
Right. Had them count it.
Right. Like, it's your money. You got to know. So,
come on.
I agree with that. Make sure to tune in tomorrow, 6 p.m. Central Time, the end of the bench. And tomorrow, I believe there will be a Queen, Three, and King. Not sure on the topic, but it'll be right here on BS3 Network, BS3 TV on Roku. And let's go ahead and round us out.
Oh, man, it's always good to, as we say on the west side of Chicago, it's always a treat when players meet. It's always good, man. I really enjoyed Monday. Today I had a hell of a day. It was a lot of fun on air today. Average Joe is the man. This is going to be great. I always have a great time with you guys. Thanks for always, this is fun. And I got, Joe put some more juice in me today. So, man, thank you guys for tuning in on both programs, Hold My Beer Sports and the forecast as usual. As y'all know, it's the end of the month. So if I owe you something, I ain't got it. And you need it,
Get it from God. God.
Better shut your white mouth.
You better shut your white mouth.
Your
I'm
white
telling
mouth.
you.
Good night, y'all.